Inbound Edens, the drive time is 19 minutes. Lake Cook to Montrose. On the Kennedy, 29 minutes from O'Hare to downtown. The express lanes are closed. Inbound Eisenhower, 36 minutes, 390 to downtown. Stevenson, 40 minutes, 355 to Lakeshore Drive. The Ryan, 21 minutes from 95th. And there's a stall in the express lanes inbound near the Stevenson. It just cleared. I'm Jim Talamonte on AM 560, The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next in our AM 560 Weather Center. Couple of morning flurries, otherwise cloudy and cold. High 26. 17 at O'Hare. Next news at 7. Breaking news as it happens. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next on AM 560, The Answer.
From the Matrix Home Solutions Studios, this is Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560, The Answer.
Listen to AM 560, The Answer, online at 560theanswer.com, on the AM 560 mobile app, on your Alexa-powered smart speaker, on TuneIn, iHeart, and radio.com. If you're looking for the latest news, insight into what it means, and the sharpest opinion, there's only one station in Chicago where you can turn, and it's this one. We're AM 560, The Answer.
All right, before we get to our next guest, let's quickly go to Marty, who joins us from Naperville with some fun thing. How could a COVID party be fun, Marty?
Well, a couple quick things. Number one, trust me, in 10 years you're going to hear TV commercials saying if you got the COVID shot, you may have, may be liable for, compensation. But anyway, was at a Super Bowl party. I won't say where, so nobody gets arrested. And everybody's talking. We were standing around the kitchen. He was talking about how good the food is, and I said, "Yeah, I think it might be." But all of a sudden, I can't taste or smell anything. The whole room went quiet. It's a pretty good little joke to do.
Oh, there you go. Thanks, Marty. Yeah, what about that Super Bowl?
Humor.
What about that Super Bowl surge we were supposed to get? Huh?
What? Yeah.
We're a few weeks out, right? How long? Yeah, Super Bowl was more than 2 weeks ago.
You should just remember, read the news. Don't listen to the news. You're off to a way better start.
All right, let's see what's going on the other side of the pond. And welcome back to the program, Dominic Green. He is. You can follow him at Twitter, at Dr. Dominic Green. He's the life and arts editor of the Spectator. Good morning, Dominic. How are you?
Good morning, Amy. Very well.
Good. So, are you guys on your 5th lockdown, 8th lockdown? What's going on over there?
Yeah, this is the 3rd, but it feels like the 6th. There's only a couple of weeks to go because, the levels are down and nobody's allowed to leave the house, so that's one way of doing it. But there is, of course, massive dissatisfaction, frustration, debt, boredom, that kind of stuff. Apart from that, life is good.
Well, are your schools open at least?
Not at all.
Really?
No.
All right, so we've got the South African strain. We can't call it the China virus, but we can call it South African and the UK strain. Why are you trying to kill us over there in the UK with this UK strain?
Well, the UK strain, you can tell you've got it because your air conditioning doesn't work. There's very low pressure when you turn on the shower, and the food is almost inedible, even if you're able to taste it.
But so is it really more deadly, or what can you tell us about it, honestly?
I don't believe it. I personally think that, all of these strains are being exaggerated in that this is what viruses do. They tend to get weaker as they spread rather than stronger. And the whole way through this, we've been at least one step behind. These things could well have been circulating months ago and are now being picked up. Is the South African strain actually also the English strain? Is it also the West African one? We have no idea. The fact that we're able to, test some people somewhere and identify it doesn't mean it began there at all. After all, people were being, identified as having a mysterious virus all over the world before the World Health Organization or the Chinese government admitted where it had come from. So I take all this with a pinch of salt and also a generous dab of hand sanitizer.
Well, there you go. And Dominic, I think we last spoke, was it Monday this week? I don't remember.
Yes, it was.
All
the days are the same.
They run together.
You tell me.
But you know what? I mean, and I'll take another left turn or right turn. Or I'll just take another turn here. But speaking about coronavirus and the elderly getting it, we spoke a lot about Meghan and Harry the last time, but now we've got the president of my club, the Naval and Military Club at number 4 St. James's Square in London.
Well,
Prince Philip is he's in hospital, as you'd say.
He is. He's in hospital.
In hospital, mate. Yeah.
He's 99 years old, and he's been in and out of hospital quite a few times. They're saying it's not anything serious. What struck me when I was watching the news last night was that it might not be anything serious when you're on the way in, but as many as half of the people who are dying at the moment of COVID in Britain are contracting it in hospital in the way of a hospital superbug. Yeah,
I mean, they have so much power and money.
He's not in good health. Yeah, you'd think they'd have a private hospital. They don't. I mean, the same thing has happened to the royal family across the board. They don't have, their own hospital. They don't have their own yacht anymore. They don't have their own plane. They're forced to fly in club class, with the plebs. It's just downhill all the way for the Windsors.
Wow. So what, you have no idea what he's in there for in the hospital?
Well, last time round, he had some trouble with his urinary tract, but he is 99 years old, and frankly,
I'd like to see the old boy make it to 100. I would love to see them.
My money is on Prince Philip to go the distance on this. I feel that he's going to hang on.
Doesn't he want to? He wants to get a letter from his wife, right? So don't you get a letter from the Queen if you turn 100?
Yeah, it's true. Actually, it's what it takes.
They'll have to send it down the hall because they definitely don't spend the night in the same bed anymore.
Well, I don't think they ever did, but I mean, if you watch The Crown, they never spent the same night in the same bedroom. But how old's the Queen now?
She's only about 5 years behind. She's 94.
Oh my God.
And is still very active. I mean, I don't know if she does her own cleaning, but she's still very much on her feet and doing stuff.
And I think I brought this up on Monday, but I said that what Americans don't know, Dominic, is that she's been the Queen of England for more than 25% of the length of the existence of America.
Wow.
Yeah, it's astonishing. It really is. And she is a great reservoir
that's like
of
having a president
and knowledge.
Yeah, I mean, she's amazing. I mean, obviously, her first, Amy, her first prime minister when she was queen was Winston Churchill.
Was Winston Churchill, yes.
Think about how long ago that is.
God, that seemed like a life. That's when we had real tragedies.
Well,
I mean,
Dominic,
not that COVID's not a tragedy, but that's...
Well, we talked about it because, think of what you want of them, and they don't really have that much, any power, really. It's all still in the government. But when times like this get crazy, it was always nice to have a rudder, right? And the royal family was always there, right? And they were going up to Sandringham or whatever castle or palace they were going to, but it was nice that they were really a constant.
They're the only
factor.
constant in the life,
and I think that the Brits like them for that. I don't know, Dominic. I might be out of turn.
Yeah, I think so. I think that people have enormous respect for the Queen. They're a bit skeptical about the rest. Their values kind of rise and fall depending on whether they've been behaving foolishly or not. But yeah, people respect the Queen enormously because she's done her job. And I think the first president she met, was President Eisenhower, and she's met them all since then. She would make a marvelous coffee table book about that, but of course she can't.
And now we've got Meghan Markle. I mean, a royal is going to be born on American soil, first time ever.
Dominic, did I hear a groan?
Yes. Yes, that was me sighing in pain. Talking of commercial opportunities and what you can and cannot do, this is true. A brave new development. Meghan Markle is commercializing every single aspect of her royalness. The rumours here are that the palace is going to run out of patience with this, that they know they're being basically exploited, and they're very careful about protecting their copyright and making sure their image is maintained. And there's a lot of concern that when Meghan goes on Oprah, that things are going to go very, very badly.
Oh,
they're promising that this is going to be a tell-all, and that's not the thing at all that Her Majesty wants.
Oh my goodness! When is she going on Oprah?
It's in March the 7th, and she's going to talk about motherhood. She's going to talk about royalhood. She's going to talk about how it all went wrong with the entire British public, and she's obviously going to plug her and Harry's new ventures, which is fine. I mean, it is after all show business, but really, it's in Britain anyway. They feel that this is pushing it. You're not meant to do that.
I'm so sorry he married an American.
No, I thought it was great. I thought it was all going fine. I think she's just got her own ambition,
agenda,
which is her business. And I think, if there's a bit more separation between, the business that is the royal family and the business that is show business, then that would probably be fine and it would work out. But at the moment, Meghan and Harry want to have it all. And they're also being political. And as you know, people have had their heads chopped off for doing things like that. You can't be political and be a royal. The reason they're allowed to carry on being royals with all the perks and privileges and perquisites is that they stay out of politics. And therefore, talking about, say, the environment, talking about social justice, these are hot political things. Every political party in the world now has a very defined position on them. And so, if even though Harry is the eighth in line to, the throne, and even though Meghan was only on Suits, these are still interventions in politics. And you can't do that. It's actually unconstitutional to do that in Britain. So the more political they are, the less really they can keep this connection to the key of their value, which of course is their royalness.
And you brought up a good point earlier this week when, Harry, he's done very well for mental illness. He's stood up and done a lot of great work there, but it was a large part due to the fact that he was scarred from his mother's death and the paparazzi chasing them around. And here he isn't it a little bit of a it smells funny to me that he's left England to come to quote Hollywood, and then now is doing a tell-all with Oprah when his mother hated the paparazzi. Jumping right back into
the hypocrisy of it.
Oh my word! Are you kidding me? Does anybody else smell that?
No, totally. Well, you don't have COVID if you can smell it. I wish, like any young couple who are awaiting their next child, I wish them all happiness and joy with it. But it's simply not normal life for a young couple then to turn it into a massive PR opportunity. Right. With this beautiful staged photo of them, in black and white. He
that was natural. He doesn't have shoes anymore. You're right, exactly.
He seems to have given up wearing shoes, which to me, the next thing he's going to be eating out of the trash or something.
Right, well, he's so woke and hip.
Exactly. And this doesn't look good. People are, financially in terrible straits all over the world at the moment. And the last thing they need, really, is for Prince Harry to be taking his shoes off to show us that he's in touch with nature.
So true.
So I just foresee, disaster down the road for them. And I wish that they would stop. He's not the sharpest knife in the box, and no one has ever claimed that. But, you're right. He has set himself on a course to fight with precisely the things which led to his mother's death, which is to declare war on the press. They sued the English papers and won last week. And simultaneously to demand people's attention and try and control their image and use it to sell stuff. And they are not free agents in the way that, their friends George and Amal Clooney are, or Oprah is, or any of their other new friends. They're not free agents. They have this kind of tie to the royal family, and that's what makes them so sellable.
Yep. All right, Dominic Green, we're going to have to leave it there for today. Thank you so much for joining us.
Dominic.
Your Majesties. Thank you.
Dominic Green, life and arts editor of The Spectator, and he joined us on our turnkey.pro answer line.
It's news, opinion, insight. This is Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
The Lou Dobbs Financial Report is brought to you by Signature Bank, helping local businesses succeed. Visit signaturebank.bank for your commercial banking needs.
I'm Lou Dobbs. Ford Motors plowing ahead with electric cars in Europe. Pennsylvania short on vaccine booster shots, and Gucci falling behind rivals in latest sales. Those stories next. Are you looking for your next investment? Lou Dobbs here. There are 8 reasons to look at the NRIA Real Estate Development Fund. Monthly cash flow payouts up to 10% annualized with bonuses to 21% targets. They strategically choose low-risk, high-demand neighborhoods that people are moving to. Prime new construction is a sector that's short on supply and high on demand. Diversification and safety from stock market risk. They have a short and long-term strategy for returns today and returns down the road. Pandemic-hardened, specially designed buildings that are open and airy. They're in their 15th year as an industry leader. If you've been sitting on the sidelines or if you want to diversify for safety and cash flow, start your due diligence at nria.net or call 201-210-2727. That's 201-210-2727.
An offer of securities is only made by the NRIA Private Placement Memorandum. Read it first. Past performance does not guarantee future results. NRIA is a real estate development firm. Learn more at nria.net.
Even as America struggles to maintain electrical grids in this week's crippling winter storms, another car maker is casting its fate behind vehicles that run on electricity. Ford has announced a major push into electric cars in Europe by 2030. Pennsylvania facing a shortage of second doses of the Moderna China virus vaccine. The problem arose as some providers inadvertently used those second shots as the initial shot for many patients. About 55,000 patients will be delayed in receiving their second shot. Fashion retailer Gucci fell behind its competitors in the fourth quarter. Gucci blames the pandemic for cutting down on tourism that generates so many sales at its boutiques. Gucci's revenue down 14% from the previous year. Please join me 3 times each weekday for my updates from the Salem Radio Network right here on this station. This is the Lou Dobbs Financial Report.
All right, cold floors. The problem is probably in the basement or crawl space. Permaseal can now make your basement and crawl space warmer, and therefore your upstairs more comfortable with their new product. Are you ready for it? Permafoam insulation. Permaseal can spray this insulating foam between your floor joists, which not only increased your energy efficiency, but it also stops insects and rodents from coming into your house, and it is mold and mildew resistant. Rim joist spray foam can be installed in just 1 day. Here's what you do. Save money and make your house more comfortable. Call Permaseal today to schedule a free evaluation. 800-421-SEAL or visit permaseal.net and ask about their 60 months with 0 interest financing or 10% off up to $1,000. Permaseal, known best for being better.
Balance of Nature's fruits and vegetables in a capsule, changing the world one life at a time.
Oh, yeah, we love it. Matter of fact, my husband and I go every 6 months for checkups. I'm 72 and he's 69, and our blood work's good. And so the doctor asked me in January, what are you doing? Just like the commercial. And I told her Balance of Nature. I was telling her about the price and what it